All right, here we are. It's time for a show. I got my coffee, and I got you. All right, let's do it. And live in 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Thursday, October 1st. Man, 2020. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Not my best cup. Not sure why. It's amazing how doing roughly the same thing can have such dramatic differences. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. Did not sleep well. Went to bed at a reasonable hour, but just couldn't settle in, and the cat kept waking me up. We're in a fight. For an hour. I lost at least an hour because of her. She's been in quite a mood the last couple days. She wouldn't leave me alone yesterday. She had food. She wouldn't eat it. It was frustrating. It was really frustrating. I think yesterday was possibly the last warm. I hope not, but I think the last really warm day we had was outside grabbing some of the final harvest of the year, and I had a chance to take my shirt off for a few minutes, get some sun. I heard coyotes yipping last night. Just like, it's like the night conspired to make sure I didn't sleep well. I don't know why. It's Thursday, and Thursday means podcast episode. And surprisingly, I know which one is coming out today. Let's see if it's out. I don't like to ruin the surprise. Come on. I'd rather let it show up. There we go. And then I'll tell you about it instead of saying, hey, here's an episode that you can't listen to yet. Yeah, my coffee's like bland. I don't know what I did wrong. Nope, not out yet. It should be out soon. Well, just know it'll be out anytime now. I spent some time working on the infection on the website yesterday, and it's not getting better. That's not true. It's getting better. I'm just frustrated because it's been 3 weeks. And the person working on it is still working on it. And I tried to work on it, and he got upset. And I understand. It's hard when two people are trying to work on the same thing. So, what else is going on? Updated the speed program and strength and conditioning program last night. Small price increases. Fight conditioning should go up tomorrow. I've got a big change coming for that one, and that's going to go up tomorrow. Remember, if you've purchased those programs, you get all those improvements for free. What's going on today? I've got a bunch of client work today. I'm doing not a big, but a reasonably large IT project. Can make good money doing it. That's the only reason I'm doing IT, is because I can send bills for large amounts of money, and people are thrilled to pay them. And on a project like this that I'm doing, Most of the time it's going to be me sitting there twiddling my thumbs. Just moving stuff from A to B. What else? What else going on today? That's the heart of it. Got plenty of email and other stuff to do. What else did I do for whistlekick yesterday? Did you guys know we have a Pinterest? We have a Pinterest account. And it's growing, like really, really well. Pinterest is probably our third biggest platform by volume, behind Facebook and Instagram. It's bigger than Twitter, it's bigger than YouTube. We get a lot of attention. Shout out to Sheila, who works on that for us. She works on a number of things for us, but Pinterest is hers. She's killing it. Sleep is so important, and I feel like I'm not starting the day well, and I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because I went to bed at a reasonable hour. I'm frustrated because I don't feel like the poor sleep is my fault. So I guess I have a choice. I can dwell on that, or I can let it go. I might as well let it go. When I get to a place like this, when I'm feeling frustrated or stressed, I'll bring it back and say, okay, how can I look at this situation in a way that's a little more positive? There are plenty of people who sleep terribly every night. There are people who don't even get the amount of sleep that I did because they have to work 2-3 jobs. I woke up to do this show, not because my life or family or financial stability depended on it. It's pretty lucky, pretty fortunate. It doesn't change the fact that I'm tired, but it does change the way I look at it. Got a call tonight with someone. So you may not know, but we started a project a long time ago that has been stagnant called Martial Arts Podcasts. And that was back when there were like 5 martial arts podcasts. I wanted to make sure everybody knew about the options. Because you had Ours, and you had Martial Thoughts from Jared, and you had Fight for a Happy Life from Sensei Ando. And now there are dozens. There are so many. And there's a Facebook page, and we built a pretty interesting website. It's got some neat technology that will it grabs all the new episodes, and you can even randomly pick a show, and it's fun. But it hasn't had any attention really in a couple of years. If somebody fills out the form and says, hey, can I get my show listed, I'll do that. That doesn't take me very long. But to go and seek out shows and make sure it's all up to date and everything, that's just not something that's been happening. But somebody has popped up who would like to work on that project. In fact, she's already doing a bit of it. So we have a call tonight. And if everything goes well, we'll have somebody working on that. Another deputy, in a sense. She's already done some writing for Martial Journal. This is yet another person in orbit with whistlekick. It's great to see people come in and see what we're working on and want to help. So, I think that's it. I think it's time to talk about whatever you all wrote in on. Let's see what you said. Let's see what you gave me to talk about. Looks like I got stuff here from Gabe and Frank, so shout out to both of you. Thank you. Remember, if you got something you want to say, drop it below, and I'll bring it up tomorrow. All right, let's start with Gabe's. Do you think it's possible for someone to be angry but still in control of their emotions? This is a reference to yesterday. Spent a bunch of time talking about anger and emotion and not falling victim to it. Can you be angry and not let your emotions take control? Absolutely. I think there's a countermeasure. We have all kinds of emotions that we don't act on. We have all kinds of instincts that we push back. It doesn't mean it's easy. But I'm sure day to day, most of us feel frustrated, which to me is kind of like the light version of anger. And we don't do anything horrible with that. We don't lose our mind and yell. But if you get angry enough, we all have a threshold. I don't like yelling. I don't like that kind of dramatic exchange. I grew up with that. I grew up being yelled at a lot. And I've been in rooms with people yelling, and sometimes I just have to walk out. Sometimes at me, sometimes I'm just around it. I don't do well with yelling. It brings me back to being a kid and getting yelled at. It wasn't fun. Yeah. I think if you have control over your emotions, over your anger, I think it can be channeled as long as you're not blinded by it. Anger can be a motivator. It can be because, again, why are you angry? Take it back. What's something I say on the show often? It's love or it's fear, right? Those are your two motivators. Is the anger coming from love of something or from fear of something? And regardless of what it is, it can be fuel to drive you forward, to give you strength or dedication to whatever it is. I think when we think about anger as a benefit, what we're really talking about is that anger being motivation towards whatever a goal is. Maybe I think the cliche is either a fight or some kind of athletic endeavor. You get angry and your adrenaline gets up and you can use that. You can channel it. Feel like the Hulk. It's real. Yeah. I think that's a good answer to your question, Gabe. I hope it is anyway. And we've got a couple more quotes here from Zen in the Martial Arts. Looks like Frank's going through the whole book, which I am totally fine with. You may train for a long, long time, but if you merely move your hands and feet, jump up and down like a puppet, learning karate is not very different from learning to dance. You will never have reached the heart of the matter. You will have failed to grasp the quintessence of karate-do. GICHIN FUNAKOSHI. Martial arts is more than movement. Martial arts is more than effective movement. Martial arts is personal development through the lens of hand-to-hand combat. That is my definition. That is, we see time and again pioneers in the martial arts field saying essentially that same thing, different words, but they hone in on the spirit. They focus on the why. That's why I ask people, why are you a martial artist? Why do you train? Why do you do what you do? Why have I invested so much time, all of my money and more, into what we do at Whistlekick. Why is that important to me? Because of what martial arts does for people. Because I'm just trying to change the world. It's something I remind myself of periodically. I'm just trying to change the world. That's my motivation. Coffee's getting better as I get lower in the cup. I think I needed a little bit more in the grounds department and a tiny bit more salt. The salt in the coffee is just, man. All these years of drinking coffee that I can't go back. Add salt. I can imagine what people would have thought if I'd put salt in my coffee back in college. I can just see myself in the dining hall putting, the salt shaker just a little bit in the coffee. People lose their mind. And our next quote, our last bit for today, try softer. A young boy traveled across Japan to the school of a famous martial artist. When he arrived at the dojo, he was given an audience by the sensei. And he said, "What do you wish from me?" The master asked. "I wish to be your student and become the finest karateka in the land," the boy replied. "How long must I study?" 10 years, at least, the master answered. 10 years is a long time, said the boy. "What if I studied twice as hard as all your other students?" 20 years, said the master. 20 years? What if I practiced day and night with all my effort? 30 years, was the master's reply. "How is it that each time I say I will work harder, you tell me that it will take longer?" the boy asked. The answer is clear. When one eye is fixed upon your destination, there is only one eye left with which to find the way. We've heard that story in a bunch of different ways. It's credited anonymously here. There's no end goal. There's no end point. There we go. Martial arts isn't over. Martial arts isn't over any more than breathing or eating or living. Because it's not a thing that you do, it's a thing that you become and thus are. I am a martial artist. Most likely you are a martial artist. The lessons, the discipline, all that, it doesn't expire. We don't give you a booster shot. It's there. Once it's changed you, you are different. And you don't go back. So instead of prioritizing the rank or the competition or the time, prioritize yourself. Relish the benefits it's brought you. And that if you train more and harder, you receive more benefits. Martial arts is one of the few things in the world that will give back exactly and only what you put in. Put in more. You get more back. I can't think of another investment that gives a more consistent and dividend-paying return. Couldn't find that word dividend for a moment. If you could find a stock that would pay out a 10% dividend consistently, people would lose their minds. They would put all of their money into it. Martial arts is At least that. You put an hour into martial arts, and it's going to benefit every hour of your life thereafter. It's a pretty amazing return. The more you put into that hour, the greater those benefits. And if you put in 2 hours, you don't get twice the benefit, you get more. Because that second hour allows you to go deeper in the first hour. I don't know that I could chart this mathematically, but I think you get where I'm going. So don't be afraid to invest in yourself, in your training, in who you are and who you want to become. And that's where we're going to end it today. So I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday. Leave me some questions, some comments, some stuff. Drop it below once the show closes, and I will read or respond tomorrow. Remember, we do this show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, here on YouTube. Catch it later, here or in audio form. Let's see if the Thursday episode popped up yet. Nope. Coming soon. If you want to support the work that we do at Whistlekick, you've got lots of ways. You can make a purchase, first cut 15. If you want to save 15%, we got the Patreon, we got follow, all that stuff. And I'll give you another one. Is there a project related to Whistlekick you want to work on? Is there something martial arts wise that you think we could partner up on? Let me know. Email me, jeremy@whistlekick.com. All right. I will see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Peace.